we'll kick it off. Hi, everyone. My name is Brennan. I'm one of the co-founders at WholeCell, and today I'm joined by John over at Reusely. He's the CEO at Reusely. They're a trade-in platform that they just rebranded. They were called Buyback.ai, and they built an incredible integration with WholeCell that we're sharing about today on this webinar. So if you've got any questions, feel free to use the live chat on the sidebar to ask those. And John and I are going to kind of go through an introduction of both products. We'll probably keep it quick this time since we just ran through this once. But if you've got any questions, toss them there and we'll read them out and answer them as we go through this webinar. So I'm going to pop over, and for anybody that is that's on the call that is not familiar with WholeCell, or if you're watching a recording of this later, just a quick overview. WholeCell is a serialized inventory system that is designed specifically for folks that are buying and selling used electronics. And, we really started with used cell phones. That's kind of the industry that this product was birthed in, and who it's designed for. And so we've got, as you can see from this graphic, we have a ton of integrations with the places that you bring your data from. And Reusely, formerly Buyback.ai, is one of those places now, and the integration we're talking about today. But we also have integrations with Phone Check. We have really significant tools where you can bring information over from spreadsheets or scan guns and scan IMEIs into the system. And then we've got a ton of tools for managing and tracking that serialized inventory. And once that inventory is ready to sell, once it's been tested, graded, repaired, potentially unlocked, we've got tools for all of those kinds of big bulk SKU updates. Once you've done those things, you can very, very easily use WholeCell to cross-list your inventory, to increase your sales across all these e-commerce channels and across a B2B portal. So WholeCell has a built-in B2B portal that allows you to advertise your inventory to B2B customers, folks that are buying from you in bulk. So we've really tried to be the kind of the command center for your business in buying and selling used devices. What you see like that is specific to this industry, the used device industry, you see integrations from us with Phone Check, with Reusely, and then with marketplaces like Swappa, Rebelow, Backmarket that are very specific to used devices. And Shady, thanks. You said we're doing well. So we're very appreciative to the existing user base that we've got, and we're really excited for this integration that John and his team have just built. So I'm going to pop to the next and let John describe what Reusely does.
Yeah, so those of you that don't know what Reusely does, we're a SaaS trade-in platform. You can, if you're not doing trade-in today, you can get started buying directly from your consumer within minutes. If you are doing trade-in, we help scale your current trade-in operations with better converting widgets, flows, workflows, and all that stuff. So I'm going to real quick kind of demo how our integration works with WholeCell. And if you have any other questions about our platform, feel free to just ask them in the chat. So let me share my screen real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to act like a consumer and sell my iPhone 14 128 gig like new condition to whatever company is using this Reusely account. And
just to clarify, John, this is kind of in an admin panel right now, but this would be hosted on a customer's website, correct?
Yeah, so you would ideally host this widget on your website or use our API, and I can kind of show you how all this works.
I think for anybody that's been in the buyback world or the trade-in world for a number of years, the widget that you guys have built is far superior to many of the online trade-in workflows that I've seen, certainly, and some of even the big institutional ones. So it's pretty cool that you can buy this as a product and just put it on your website, customize it to your flow and branding and so forth.
Yeah, we're obsessed with conversions. We work with many different marketing companies to kind of enhance the conversion flow all day long. So now that is in our account, you're going to see that trade-in, and let's kind of just go in here, and we're going to just fill in some random IMEIs for now. And then typically you would kind of walk this through your workflow, which is all customizable. We're just going to skip this and we're going to mark this as completed as if we paid out this trade-in. And we'll go ahead and update the status. And then these two items should be over to our wholesale account. So let's go in here real quick. We'll log into our wholesale account. We'll go to purchase orders. And here it is. So we'll go to this PO, and it moved all of these two iPhones over to our wholesale account, transfer over the cost and the ESN number. This will work with unlimited amount of products. So if you have 1,000 products on order, if it's like a bulk order for a business, it will instantly import all of that. And real quick, just so you understand before what I was showing, like the widget, this is just what it looks like on a website. So, it's very subtle. It looks like it's actually integrated into your website, not an actual widget.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I think for existing customers of Wholesale that are on this call, certainly what we see working on Wholesale is that one of the most significant bottlenecks to using software, if you've been using spreadsheets or something like that in the past to track your inventory, it's just getting information about your inventory into the system. So what John and his team have built here are a workflow based system that imports all of that data about all the trade-ins that you've received, and it only imports them once you've actually marked them complete, where the customer actually shipped them to you and you receive them in your system. So I think this is what's such a beautiful parity between, you'd have all of your trade-ins in Reusely, and then the ones that actually get shipped to you and become inventory, those get entered into Wholesale automatically via this API integration, which is just that's the best possible marriage of these two systems, and for best possible workflow for anybody doing a lot of consumer and enterprise trade-in, because adding information, somebody comes in and does a 50 device trade, and if a business, or a school or something like that is trading in devices, then you've got to figure out a way to get that information into the system. Maybe you're going to have to convert the spreadsheet to use Wholesale's headers. And so this is just an absolutely beautiful way to do it. And I think current users of Wholesale will instantly appreciate how much time this saves. So we're, short to say, very, very excited about how much time this will take off of users' plate as they're using this integration. So.
Yeah, just to clarify, Reusely, helps you buy devices from your consumer, from other businesses. So once those are bought in our platform and marked, paid as inventory, then Wholesale will move over to Wholesale, and Wholesale will help you sell those items.
Yeah, absolutely. So they get processed through here. One of the options here and in Reusely is to use, Reusely has a phone check integration, and Wholesale has one as well. So John could have pulled information from phone check into Reusely to update those details. You see it right in their add-ons page here. And then another option is you could very quickly pull 50 devices from Reusely into Wholesale and then update all of them from phone check once they've been phone checked. So you have this capability to kind of mix and match, make the workflow exactly how you want it to move for your team, but to make sure that the correct device information is in Wholesale, so that then Wholesale can effectively cross-list this on your e-commerce channels. Oh, and we got a question from Shady. Shady said, okay, in this case, are the prices fixed in your website, or can they change it? And I assume that you mean in this instance the Reusely account, Shady, the prices that are offered for trade-ins. Is that correct?
Yeah,
okay.
So
yeah, John, maybe you can speak to that.
So here's a typical settings page for a Reusely account, and I'm going to go into Price Editor. And for example, here's my iPhone 14. So I can price sync with a source. So for example, say I want to price sync Atlas Mobile, and I want to mark down 10%. I can hit apply, and it's going to instantly update all my iPhone 14 prices to match, or 10% less than Atlas Mobile. I can also turn off price sync and then just go in here and price them all manually. Just like that.
Very cool. So to me, it looks like the short answer is yes, Shady, to your question. You have full control, and they've built in automation tools to make pricing really, really fast and simple. Because I know that for anybody doing trade-in, managing purchase price across an entire catalog can take so much work.
Oh yeah, most
That's
people
huge.
use the price sync tool. They'll just find a source that works good for them. If we don't have a source, we always do offer custom sources. We can connect to pretty much any website and scrape that website. And you can do fixed price too. So if you wanted to mark it down, $5, you can also do that.
Nice. That's awesome. Do you mind showing just very quickly, John? I think you did on the last recording. You did show the API connection, just how to get
Yeah,
wholesale connected to your Reusely account.
yeah, let's go here. So if you're in the add-ons page on Reusely, you're going to go into the settings for wholesale and then go into your wholesale account, scroll down into settings, and then go down to the API applications. Here, you'll add a new API application. Brennan will get that approved very quickly, and then you will see it here. You'll see the app ID, the app secret ID, and then the name. And those are the three fields that you need to put in right here. And then you just hit test connection and it's connected, and it's that easy.
Awesome.
And
Yeah, couldn't be faster.
let's see, we got one more question.
Oh yeah, you want to read that out?
Yeah, so looks like platform that I can buy the used phones from customers with my price that I offer, and if the customer picked basically got into wholesale once it's shipped. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna help you buy phones from your customer, and that might be in store or it might be through the mail. And as soon as those are completed in Reusely, it's going to go over to your wholesale account where you can then sell. How do you pay your customers? So you can pay your customers really however you want. We have a payout option here where you can set all your payouts. So any payout that you want to use, just flip on, and that's the customer. It will automatically update the widget, so the customer will select, store credit or PayPal or whatever you have activated.
That's so cool. And sorry, John, I'm actually curious about this as well. Are payouts an automated piece as well for the ones that have APIs, or is that a
To,
manual thing that you'll still go and enter in
Today, we're
the manual
just
payment?
collecting information for you to do off the platform. However, we are launching Reusely payouts very soon, and I'm pretty excited about it because it kind of makes our platform more of a fintech solution. And when we do launch that, we plan to reduce all their subscription prices and actually have a free option as well.
Cool. That's so awesome. Shady, I don't know that Buyback.ai, or excuse me, that Reusely acts as an escrow or anything like that. I think you still just pay the customer directly, but then in the future with their payouts solution, um, they'll sync with your bank, I assume, or something like that, John.
Yeah, so how it will work, you'll be able to add some kind of deposits, and then all the payout methods that have APIs available. Once you mark that completed on our workflow, it will instantly send that to the customer. I know we'll be doing PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, bank transfer, some gift cards options will also be in there. Today, we do have some automation as far as like Venmo, PayPal, MassPay, and then also bank transfer CSV file. So you can do some kind of automation today, but it's not the way we want it to be. So when we release the full payout solution, it will work more as a fully automated feature.
That's great. Yeah, I think, I don't want to wax on too philosophic for too long, but I think for anyone that's been in the used device industry for any number of years, I've been doing this for 10 or 15 years now, being able to just go out and buy off the shelf software for inventory management and for trade-in, to have it to host a trade-in platform like this is just incredible. This is unprecedented. You've never been able to do this before. Your options 10 years ago, if you wanted to run a trade-in program, were to hire some WordPress developer to build like, a WordPress plugin that then you had to manage the catalog of, which is incredibly time consuming, or build your own custom web app that then you have to maintain to do trade-in. And the same thing for inventory management, or you're using spreadsheets. So I just think I'm like so pleased and thrilled that that we've got this integration, and you can use both products, you can use them together, and immediately offer just like a very high level trade-in option for your customers, to source phones, and then immediately get them in your inventory system, test them with your diagnostic software, and be off to the races. So
And
that's awesome.
real quick, I see that you asked the question, what if a customer lied? Happens all the time. They say they sent in a new phone, but really it has a bunch of scratches on it. We have an automated process for that. That's really cool. So what you'll do is you'll just go into your Reusely account. You'll mark the offer as not as described. You'll tell it what it should be, and then the customer will automatically get a link to your customer portal where they will see the side-by-side comparison. And if you do attach photos, it will also show the photos. I didn't attach them here. And then it will be a pulsing accept button so they can accept a new offer.
Wow. And maybe this is pretty. You explained this pretty briefly. Oh, and yeah, Shady's still saying.
If they don't want the offer, that's up to your own terms. Most people will ship the device back for free. Some companies don't. Some companies will charge $5, $10 to ship the phone back. Most of the time, if you call the customer and they see this and they know that you're not trying to pull a fast one on them, they understand, they're happy as long as you're transparent.
Yeah, I think this is a platform for increasing transparency, right? The customer is not just getting some very basic, crappy text email. This platform, literally legitimizes you, so that you can clearly illustrate to the customer that you have a platform for managing this stuff. You're not trying to screw them over, and this is just normal, standard business. If they want the phone back, all they have to do is hit decline and agree to your terms, and they get their phone back. Right?
Yep. And that's more for mail-in. In stores are a lot more easy because you're usually initiating these in the platform as the customer's standing in front of you. Thank you.
Awesome, Shady. John, Shady's with one of our customers that's been using WholeCell for a number of years now. So hopefully you guys get a customer out of this. I think that'd be great. And you kind of had mentioned this, John, but I just want to hit on it once more, that when you guys release the payouts feature, one of the concepts is that you will have the trade-in platform, like the payouts, like customers will pay for Reusely by virtue of the payouts, some portion of the payout going to Reusely, and they'll be able to host the widget, the buyback, and the trade-in platform for free, which
Yeah,
is amazing.
so I'll just go over this real quick. Let's see here. Just kind of go over our subscriptions real quick. So right now, the cost to using this platform is already very affordable, $30 a month. That gets you, actually, we have up to 80,000 trade-in products available today. We've launched golf club buybacks to book buybacks and everything in between. So, for $30 a month, you can kind of get on our platform and start testing it out. And then if you want it fully white labeled to where customers don't know that you're using Reusely, it costs $90 a month. And that's really all you need. But yeah, we want to take it even further and have a zero. We want to make the $30 option completely free. And we do have an API. It's a public API. I see that you're, sorry to get sidetracked, looking at the comments here. Yes, we do have a public API, so you can do all of this. You don't have to use our widget. You can do this fully through the API as well. But going back to the subscriptions, when we do launch Reusely payouts, it will have some kind of cost associated with it, probably like a percentage. We want to bring that down as cheap as possible. It will probably be, less than 0.5% to use even cheaper than that. You don't have to use it. It's something that if you want to use, you can. You can still use the current manual process. But with that in mind, we will be more classified as a fintech solution, and we will have a completely free, you most likely the copper package will be free. So
That's awesome. Yeah, so we're not holding you guys to it. Whatever pricing you come up with is obviously at your discretion. But I mean, for folks that are watching this, the use case that I described, where people used to have to, if you were trying to do this 5 to 10 years ago, and you were hiring a developer to build this kind of platform, you were literally spending tens of thousands of dollars to come up with all of these systems for managing a catalog of trade-in prices, creating a beautiful UI for customers to be able to select their device and add multiple trade-ins to a cart. I mean, this is high-level stuff, and to manage dispute resolution. This is all of this stuff is really, really difficult to build. And the fact that you get access to a platform with all of these tools at these prices just boggles my mind. So I'm obviously a biased but huge advocate of the Reusely platform, and I think people should be using it to.
There is a 14-day free trial, so feel free to sign up, use it for 14 days. There's no credit card required, so if just go ahead and sign up. And I just want to kind of show you how easy it is. Like, say you wanted to start buying back golf clubs from your clients. I just literally hit this button and boom, I'm buying back golf clubs now. It will update the widget, it will update the API, everything.
So cool, John. And one thing that I would be remiss not to mention is we have a couple of wholesale customers, at least right now, that I know are using Reusely and have the widget on their sites. And I have heard nothing but incredibly positive feedback about John and his team's customer support for the Reusely product. They're listening to users, building features that users ask for, which is certainly what we strive to do as well at WholeCell. And so I think if you are potentially using the WholeCell and Reusely products together, you will have a consistent experience of support between both tools. You'll be able to talk to John and the Reusely team about your use case. They've already built in a tremendous amount of customization, so you'll just get support in building it with their current tools, however you need it. But I know that they're very open to feedback as we try to be as well. So really excited that both products are coming from the same place of support and product sophistication. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Anything else that that we didn't cover? At least we know this one is recorded, John. This is hilarious.
Yeah, I can't believe that happened. We literally did this already.
We did. And we didn't have any questions, so we appreciate it, Shady. We've gotten a lot of interaction. Ooh, and Sergio, a question from Sergio, another great wholesale customer. We really appreciate it. Hit us, Sergio. We're ready for it. The question is just how fast can you type or use voice to text? That's a great question. Do you want to take that one, John, or do you want me to?
You want to take that?
Yeah, for sure. So for anybody watching a recording afterwards, Sergio asked us, when items sync from Reusely to WholeCell, how do those items sync into WholeCell if the product or the variation does not exist in your WholeCell account? So maybe say, the product's in your Reusely account, and so it came in with these product details, and then obviously Reusely is syncing over to WholeCell and putting these products in. What if the products don't exist yet in your catalog in WholeCell? And that's basically an API question for us. So the API, when you're using WholeCell's API to add information, to add products and inventory into the system, it will just create a new product variation if one does not exist for the product that is coming in. So of course, if one exists, it will use the pre-existing one with all of the matching conditions that, as long as like in this instance, manufacturer is Apple, model is iPhone 14, and color, capacity, and network, as long as all of the and variation, as long as those all match, we'll use an existing SKU that you have in your product catalog, to make things, this is like, again, I think, Sergio, I'm glad you asked this question, because this really illustrates, if you have that product in your catalog already, then it will immediately apply, as long as you get to set how things come in. But if you've got things configured so that these items come in from Reusely in the status that you have available to e-commerce channels, this is like a perfect workflow where you don't even have to do anything. They will come into your WholeCell account. If they're already tested and graded and ready to roll, then you have the ability to let them flow into WholeCell, and then WholeCell will update all of the e-commerce channels with these new inventory items that have been added to the system. Of course, if you don't want that to happen, it's also totally feasible to prevent that by using a different status or a different grade or something like that to kind of indicate that the product still needs to be tested before being listed on e-commerce channels. But you have control over this. So to answer your question, Sergio, WholeCell will create a new product variation if one does not already exist, and you have experience with the system. If there's a new product variation, it is not tied to any e-commerce listings, but in theory, you'll be seeing the items that are coming in through Reusely, and so you can make sure that those are product variations that exist in your WholeCell account and that are tied to your e-commerce listings. So as long as you're vigilant about that, you can have a totally automated workflow here.
And also the grades and the conditions are fully customizable in Reusely as well. So if you wanted to match them up and call them the same thing, you can do that.
That's awesome.
So we're actually updating that. So looks like the condition currently in WholeCell is syncing to damages. We have identified that, and that will probably be updated tomorrow, where it will just go into grade.
Nice. Yeah, and that's a great thing that you've identified, Sergio, and that the team Reusely is already updating to make sure that those products come over in kind of the way that WholeCell typically sees them. And again, I can't stress that this kind of mapping that they've already done by building this integration is the kind of mapping that usually takes a lot of time if you have to do it manually. Right? A lot of our customers, they've got to do it manually for whatever reason, and we know that that's a pain point, that takes a lot of time, and managing all these products, managing a catalog, etc. You want to focus on buying and reselling inventory, and so the fact that the Reusely team has built this, and they're updating it to kind of match that grade to grade and damage conditions to conditions in WholeCell, will make that a lot smoother, and just like save you a tremendous amount of time. Shady said, can I limit the buy to as new only, or once I am open to buy, I will just buy any condition the customer will offer? I think he's basically saying, can he accept certain conditions of devices? Is that what you're saying, Shady?
So accept certain conditions in Reusely. Yeah, they're fully customizable. So if you don't want to buy damaged devices from your customers, you can just not have damaged devices as an option.
So you get to decide. But I think that one of the benefits of running your own trade-in program, it's just like the benefits of having a WooCommerce or a Shopify store, because you're the merchant and you're the one running the store or the marketplace in that instance, is that you get to set the price, right? So if you want to, if you don't really have a great way of buying damaged devices, or you don't really want to deal with it, an option could just be to lower the prices for damaged devices. So to make it worth your while, basically, you have full control of that pricing in your catalog, and you can either exclude them or include them at a very low price so that it's worth the hassle. I'm kind of saying that, assuming that that's possible, John. But is that the case?
Yeah, 100%. You're full control over your pricing and conditions.
Awesome. Well, we've certainly gotten more interaction and engagement on this
one. Yeah.
This second round of our webinar, which I'm really appreciative of. Anybody got anything else? Do you mind bringing up the URL, John, that where folks can start a Reusely trial if they want to?
Yeah. So you'll just go to reusely.com and hit free trial and just start one of these, no credit card required. It's going to kind of take you through some onboarding. I'm signed out, so you will see this. Oh, you'll see this.
Nice. Beautiful and simple. Well, all right, guys. Thanks so much for the time. We will have this posted to probably both of our YouTube channels, this recording of this webinar. So if you want to come back and see any of the things that John has shared or that we talked about, you'll be able to do that. We're both very available, so reach out to either of us. I think John is john@reusely.com. I'm Brennan at WholeCell.io. So we try to make ourselves available. We'll also both be at the Mobile Disrupt conference next week for sure. So for the customers that we've been talking to on this call, I know at least some of you are planning on attending Mobile Disrupt. If you're interested in John's product, go seek him out at the show and make a good connection. I certainly think it'd be worthwhile. So looking forward to seeing you all there. Have a great Friday, everyone. Thanks for the time. And we'll catch you in the next one of these webinars. And was there anything else you wanted to add, John?
No, that's all. Hope to see you guys at Mobile Disrupt. Yes, the Vegas event in a couple days. We'll be there. Both of us.
Yeah, rocking and rolling. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for the time. She says, hell yeah, I'll meet you there. Sweet. We'll see you there, Shady.
Buy a drink.
Perfect. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thanks for the time, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.